I would say that by focusing on my ideal client, and that's one of the things that came out of Rebel is focusing on your ideal client and building around that ideal client. We probably saw a 20% lift in my business. It's what's working in their world. So I think it's really important, particularly in an environment that we operate in where so many brick and mortar companies are downsizing and there's not as much office space. We're forced to build a community of agents that we know, like, and trust. And I think that that's what Rebel does. It supports that community of collaboration. And that's what I really like about it. I like to go to educational events because if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. You need to associate yourself with people that are always pushing the boundaries and always learning. I mean, I've been doing this 11 years, but I'm not resting on what was successful 5, 6, 7 years ago. I'm looking forward to the future and the investment in technology and the rapid increase of AI. Those are areas that I want to know more about. And I think that the people that you bring together in the Rebel event are looking to the future as well. They're telling us what's been successful in the past and planning a vision for what we need to spend our time on to get to a successful future. I think the thing that pushed me over the edge to go to Rebel was the quality of the people that were speakers there, and the quality of the people like yourself that put the event together. I mean, it's people that I know, people that I trust in the industry. So I knew that it would be a good investment of my time and my money. Well, one of my favorite parts about the event was the fact that we were kind of seated in the round.
Oh, yeah.
So we had this opportunity to be in close proximity to the speakers. And you had a guest speaker from out of town that we actually engaged directly from the stage, and that was kind of humorous. So as a flashback, that was probably my favorite part of the event.
Yeah.
I think more than anything, what changed for me after the event is we're constantly coming up with ideas, but we don't always have fantastic execution. So I think what helped me is the clarity of parsing through a dozen ideas that I could be working toward, narrowing it down to saying, what are the 3 actions that I can take today, I can take this week, I can take this month, that are going to have a positive impact on my business. So it's really probably developing the ability to analyze, focus, and move forward. So after the Rebel event, I feel like I was more committed to not only making myself better, but helping and investing in making other people better. Because I think sometimes the best way to learn is to force yourself to become a teacher. And I feel like, Ryan, that you've done this in order to teach and share with other people. You've become a teacher of all this material, and it makes you better, but it also makes the people that you surround yourself with better as well.
I think
So after the Rebel event, I took a long look at the shiny objects that I've invested in. I think that we've all had the challenge of saying, oh, I'm going to buy this tool, I'm going to buy this tool, I'm going to buy this tool. So I really was probably better at looking at that tool set, the toolkit that I invested in, analyzing if I was really using it in my business, and then discontinuing investments in areas that are just not generating a positive return. So that's an area that I think was important. But another area that I think that a lot of realtors fall into the trap, and frankly, this is a trap that successful, busy realtors fall in, and that is the cycle of when business is really, really good, they back off of their advertising. And then when business is really slow, they ramp it up, really aggressively. And I feel like if we could put together a 12-month plan and stay on that plan, you're going to be more successful over time. And maybe you can even work ahead of schedule. So we all know that May and June become very, very difficult. So if you know that you need to put together some marketing material for those maybe you can do that in February, March, and April so that you still have them ready during the busy season. So I think after Rebel, I really took a close look at my transactions, my transaction value, my transaction count. And I had some clarity. 2023 was frankly a very difficult year. So 2024, I was really kind of fighting back to get back to the basics. I would say that by focusing on my ideal client, and that's one of the things that came out of Rebel, is focusing on your ideal client and building around that ideal client. I would say that by focusing on my ideal client, and that's one of the things that came out of Rebel, is focusing on your ideal client and building around that ideal client. We probably saw a 20% lift in my business, is on par to be my biggest year ever. And I'm laying the foundation for a really strong 2026. So it's always, you can always be busy, but you have to lay the foundation for what's going to be happening in your business 90 to 120 days from now. If someone asked me, was it worth the ticket price to go to Rebel? And I'd say absolutely yes, because not only do you get the learning there, you get to meet people who are also working toward improving their business, and you create great friendships there and great partnerships. And the information that's coming out of there is very valuable to continuing to grow your business. And I feel like one of the most important investments that we can make is investments in our own education, our own learning. And there's no better way in Central Ohio to do that. We can all get on a plane and go to events all over the country, but here we've got the talent right in our own backyard. So I definitely make the investment to go to Rebel 2026.